I'm asking for a moment of silence for the sudden passing of community member, volunteer, and district parent, Rich Charlotte. Tracy, roll call.
Mr. Armour?
Here.
Mrs. Denny?
Here.
Mr. Doherty?
Here.
Mrs. Essler?
Here.
Ms. Hilferty?
Here.
Mrs. Jones? Mrs. Powell?
Here.
Mrs. Stone?
Here.
Mr. Tinsley?
Here. 2.01 Approval amendments. The motion is approved the minutes of the regular meeting of March 22nd, 2017 and April 11th, 2017. Do I have this motion?
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 2.02 is the invoice listing. This motion is to approve the invoice listing from March 2017 through April 2017. Do I have this motion?
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 2.03 is the treasurer's report. Ms. Powell?
As of February 28, 2017, PennDOG's balance was $41,336,477. During March 2017, local, state, and federal revenues totaled $1,886,898. Disbursements were issued in the amount of $6,314,965. As of March 31, 2017, PennDOG's current balance is $36,908,410. The motion is to approve the Treasurer's report for March 2017. Do I have this motion?
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 2.04 is the budget transfer report. This motion is to approve the budget transfer report as presented. Do I have this motion?
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 2.05 is the supplemental financial information, which includes expenditures, revenue, and student activity. Number 3 on the agenda, staff, student, and community recognition. Dr. Steinoff?
Thank you, Mr. Tinsley. Typically, during our April board meeting, we bring out students and their parents to receive the awards for Delaware County Young Authors Awards. However, this year, those awards were issued a month later than normal due to the snow event that we had in March. And as a result, our winners will be invited to the May meeting. So our typical student recognition in April will be postponed until our meeting in May. We'll move on to the superintendent's report. Take advantage of this additional time that we have tonight as a result of not giving out the recognitions to share with the school board a video from Northley Middle School that we are very happy to push out to the community. This year I've seen really some very impressive events in our schools, and particularly at Northley, and their career day is one of them. Each year I would say it gets bigger, and I would say it gets better in the sense that it is geared towards helping kids think equally about their path to college as well as a career. And I found this video of the event to be really very well done, and I'm happy to share it with you tonight. It provides a nice glimpse of the wonderful staff and students that we have at Northley Middle School.
Career Day is beneficial to middle school students because they start to think about their interests, things that they like, things that they don't like, and it's important for them to think about the skills that they can learn through different activities and experiences and how the classes that they take relate to jobs. And it's important for them to learn that higher education, any type, is the way to success after high school. For 6th grade Career Day, they visited 5 different speakers from a variety of careers and occupations to learn different job skills. They attended an assembly with college students called College Knowledge, and at the end of the day, they ended with their entrepreneur fair, where young students get to develop a business concept and sell it to the other students. A very fun and exciting activity for them.
So, Career Day for 7th grade, the students, a few weeks ago, they pre-selected trips that would be of interest to them in a lottery format. So the kids were able to, get a number. When their number was called, they would sign up for a trip. We have 11 or 12 trips going out today. So most of the students are on a trip to a career site that would be of interest to them. And they're going to go out into the real world of work and they're going to see what it's like to be on the job. For the last part of the day, they're going to go back to their rooms. They're going to do evaluations so that I know going forward, did the kids enjoy this trip? Was it beneficial? Do I want to do a trip like this next year, or do I need to look around and see what else is out there? After that, they're going to do thank you notes, which I think is a huge, important thing to teach the students some gratitude and show them that we really need to give thanks to these workers that took time out of their days to show the students what it's like to go on a career. So I can't thank the job sites and the employees enough.
The 8th grade focuses on the transition to high school, their post-secondary options, as well as college. In the morning, they went to Sun Valley High School, where they heard from a panel of freshman students about their transition from 8th to 9th grade. After that, they heard from a presentation from the Delaware County Technical Schools on the options that they have to offer the students while they attend Sun Valley. After lunch, the students participated in a college fair in the gym, which was run by our gifted seminar students, who spent about a month researching a college of their choice. Students walked around the gym asking the seminar students questions about their colleges and filling out a scavenger hunt that they are able to put in for a raffle for prizes. The afternoon consists of a guidance lesson around your post-secondary options and the importance of preparing early, and then a presentation from the seniors about their entire high school career and the application process, and a college knowledge panel.
The thing I loved about Career Day was that I got to learn about the jobs that I really wanted to do. For the fair, I am making candy popcorn and I like it.
For Career Day, I liked learning about all the medical things and how I could help people. I want to be someone in the medical field.
An entrepreneur is basically somebody who creates their own business and sells something for their own benefit. And during Career Day, I basically learned how you sell and make your own goods that you can sell for yourself. I've also learned how to put aside money for spending, but also save some for change for other customers.
I really liked Career Day. I like learning about the different colleges and what they offer and how much they cost and just about the schools in general.
I thought that was a nice snapshot into some of the great things happening there at Northley and the wonderful kids there. And I think video always speaks for itself. Although we just observed some great joy on the faces of students during that event, this week was much more stressful as PSSA assessments again reared its oversized head. I want to congratulate and compliment the students who have been taking their assessments so seriously. Year in and year out, experts decry the way that tests are given in Pennsylvania. They're too long and they're too narrow to adequately measure student achievement. However, I am hearing of proposals in Harrisburg to alter the way that assessments are conducted in Pennsylvania, and thank goodness for that. Some of the proposals that are being considered, and I'm sorry if I steal any of Ms. Essler's thunder, because she may reiterate this in the legislative report, but it's important to mention. There was some talk and some interest in permitting local school boards to determine themselves whether the Keystone examination should be used as an additional graduation requirement, rather than the state making that decision. There's talk about permitting the use of the SAT, or not the assessment, as a test to meet the federal requirements for testing in secondary schools. There's talk about limiting the number of hours and days in which students can be tasked to participate in the state test. In other words, there's talk about shortening a far too long test that is currently in place. There's talk about using test data for purposes only of measuring academic growth. There's talk about forbidding the use of taxpayer dollars for the purchase of test and prep materials. And there's talk about permitting parents who know their children far better than bureaucrats to opt out of state tests for reasons other than just religious objection. So I applaud the legislators who are working closely in looking at these negative effects of too much state testing. And I will be writing a personal letter to our elected representatives urging them to support this type of common sense reform so that it becomes something other than just talk. On the agenda this evening is a motion to create a position of Director of Teaching and Learning. I should point out that this is not an additional administrative position, but rather an Act 93 position that will take the place of the existing Assistant Superintendent position that is currently vacant. In a district of our size, a district can serve in this capacity, a director rather can serve in this capacity, and work closely with the staff and administrators and ensure that he or she is in the schools on a regular basis seeing the good things that are happening. This model eliminates some of the reporting layers in the organizational structure, and I believe better aligns the priorities of the district with the activities in the schools. It's my hope to have a candidate for this position for the board to consider by the end of next month. Next month, our annual arts events will be happening across the district, and Delco will be advertising to the community what we are now going to start calling 10 days in May. We will have some posters advertising 10 evenings of art, chorus, or band events that any of the members of the community are welcome to attend. It's my hope to see the 10 days in May grow to become a special time each year when we can find ways to celebrate the arts of Pendelco and get our students meaningfully involved in some cross-grade level experiences in those areas. I want to thank the school board for gathering during spring break a few weeks ago to award contracts permitting us to move forward with the renovation of the Sun Valley cafeteria and kitchen. That facility will gradually benefit from continued and increased investments in its infrastructure. And I look forward to bringing to the board a revised schedule for classroom and other renovations that we will ensure help the Sun Valley building to enjoy incremental improvements in a responsible manner. Tonight, I also want to compliment so many of our teaching staff who put together what was, I felt, the best in-service day that I can recall in Pendelco, which was held last week while our students were enjoying their last day of spring break. The teachers and other staff members presented close to 60 different workshop sessions for the rest of their colleagues, and the feedback and surveys, 280 of which we received, has been overwhelmingly positive. That doesn't happen without the initiative of the staff who could have just come and participated and gone through the motions, but they really did not. They saw this day as an opportunity for real professional growth, and so many of them took the leadership that we expected and stepped up and really may have set us up for a nice annual model for a very special day of staff development that we hope to emulate in future years. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Simoff. Next on the agenda is student representative report to the board.
April was a pretty eventful month at Sun Valley. Spring sports have had a great start to their seasons, and our renovations in the cafeteria have begun.
Last Friday, we had our junior prom at the waterfall. It was a great night for all students and teachers who attended. This Saturday is the Headstrong lacrosse game and events.
Coming up soon is our senior prom at the Penn Museum, which will be held on May 5th. Also, AP tests are starting next week, and we have our annual blood drive coming soon at the end of May.
Art students have a busy month coming up with the AP Art Show and Arts Alive approaching. Our school year is winding to an end. That's all we have for you tonight.
Thank you, girls. Enjoy the rest of the year.
Next on the agenda is announcements for the public. In accordance with Act 48, the Sunshine Law, the board met in executive session this evening to discuss litigation and personnel issues. Comments by members of the board? Next is 8.01, Legislative Council Report. Ms. Hessler.
Pennsylvania House has taken their first stab at the budget, and it's now on its way to the Senate. While it's a long way from being finalized as the debate continues, we are hopefully on our way to an on-time state budget that will lead to a more fiscally responsible government for the 2017-18 fiscal year. Also, charter school legislation has been fast-tracked through the House and passed as House Bill 97. The School Board Association is critical of the bill, believing that charter school reform should be approached differently than it has been over the past 7 years. The School Board Association encouraged the committee to split the legislation into 3 separate bills, one addressing accountability, another addressing governance, and finally, the final piece addressing funding considerations. They also encourage the Education Committee to apply changes that can assist all public schools in the Commonwealth, and that charter and traditional should be required to use the same methods to evaluate educators, be held to the same ethical standards, and adhere to the same measures of accountability. Overall, public school districts are asking for a level playing field in terms of state mandates and regulations between charter and traditional public schools. Now that the bill is in the Senate, hopefully they can accommodate some of these requests. Also, as Dr. Steinhoff mentioned, more bills are emerging in the Pennsylvania legislature to end or loosen the requirement that for students to pass the Keystone exams as a graduation requirement. Senator Eichelberg and Senator Dinniman, majority and minority chairman of the Senate Education Committee, are requesting co-sponsorship of a bill eliminating the Keystone exams to be used as a high school graduation, and also stated that the Department of Education has said that the Keystone exams are not a good predictor of college and career readiness. And I would like to add also, it's nice to see that it's not a partisan issue, but that we have both the Republicans and the Democrats that are concerned about this and working together on this issue. They're hoping to shorten the time for instructional time for the test, and they're hoping to have the scores return within 30 days of the children taking the test. And last, Pennsylvania's state pension system, which is a ticking bomb, just waiting to explode. And we'll mention this from time to time because of the seriousness of the situation. The unfunded liabilities are currently estimated at $75 billion, the result of overpromising retirement benefits and poor investment performance, but mostly a willful redirection of necessary pension contributions by the Pennsylvania government for other purposes. I remember when I first started following this, which was like 7 years ago, it was at about $29 billion. So that just shows you what direction it's going in, and it's not getting better. The gross negligence on the part of the elected officials is bipartisan. It is possible that in the next 8 to 15 years, pension assets will become exhausted and consume 40 to 50% of the budget. Pension obligations already consume up to 35% of school budgets and rising. The consequences for PA's future is only getting worse as we delay in effectively dealing with the crisis. So hopefully we can stop talking about it and they can start moving forward in something that makes sense for everybody in Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Ms. Hessler. I will now go to public comments. Where's Mr. Dottie? We want to give him a hard time. He's still around. Items for board review. 2.01, personnel professional on page 3. Continues on page 4 and page 5 and page 6. This references the Pendelco budget 2016-2017, Act 93 plans, the PDEA agreement, the PDESPA agreement, the PDSSPA agreement, the PA School Code section 1108B. It is the administrative recommendation to approve all personnel items as presented. Do I have this motion?
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Tonight, for some of the items, we will be using a consent agenda, and this will include agenda items 10.03 through 10.14, except for agenda items 10.09, 10.10, and 10.13. Does any board member wish to remove any other items from the consent agenda? If not, I need a motion to approve agenda items 10.03 through 10.14, except for 10.9, 10.10, 10.13. Note all contracts, preparation, and solicitation of bids are subject to review and approval from the solicitor. Do I have this motion?
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 10.09, Ms. Denny.
Item number 10.09 is a bid award for a paving project at Aston Elementary School. The motion is to award the paving project contract to Charlestown Paving and Excavating Incorporated of DeVault, PA for a base bid of $255,500 and add alternates number 1 in the sum of $7,500, number 2, $2,500, and stripping in the amount of $1,450 for an amount not to exceed $266,950. In accordance with all bid specification, it is subject to solicitor's review and execution of mutually agreeable contract. Do I have this motion?
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 10.10, Mr. Armour.
10.10, bid award. Bid award for the roof repair / partial repair at Parkside Elementary School. Motion is to approve the roof repair partial replacement contract to Garvey Rohr LLC of Westchester, PA for an amount not to exceed $108,736 in accordance with bid specifications, subject to solicitor's review and execution of mutually agreed upon contract. Do I have this motion?
So moved. Second.
Questions or comments? Are those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 10.13, Mr. Dockery.
Item 10.13, tax appeal. The motion is to agree to settle the tax assessment appeal for the property located at 4580 Edgemont Avenue, Brookhaven Borough, folio number 05-00-00424-02, for relevant tax years as presented. Do I have this motion?
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next on the agenda is comments by members of the public. Seeing none, comments by members of the board?
Just quickly, for the board members, I had passed around a invitation from the Delaware County School Board's Legislative Council. Traditionally, they have had a legislative breakfast in the spring for the board president and the superintendent. They've expanded it to include business managers, and they also are inviting any school board members who would like to attend that. So if you want to attend that meeting, it's held at DCIU, let me know, and we will have you registered for that. I also want to point out the smiles on the faces of some of our Parkside teachers who are here, who now know they don't have to teach under umbrellas with the roofing project. And they're probably wondering, why is Aston getting a parking lot at the beach? In all seriousness, there is still engineering studies that are required to be done, and that we hope will be complete at the end of the summer. And we have not forgotten about the side parking lot there, and I share that for informational purposes for people in our public as well who wonder about that. That parking lot is not forgotten, but we are tied to a timeline of having to, again, complete some engineering studies and go back and then look at that and come up with a plan to properly finish off that parking lot. But you certainly will take care of the roof this summer. We'll look forward to that. Thank you.
Any other comments by members of the board? So I just wanted to say at least one thing, and don't really have much of a script. Even from the career day, whether it's Spazio or really, it's almost every month I say thank you for one thing or another, especially knowing a lot of people on there, whether it's I don't even know another Fatima, O'Hara boy, Pashery. I saw Pashery was on there as well. Then obviously, you saw Rich was on there as well. Whether from this past week and so on, you can always tell. We all know we spoke in the back as well. I love our district. I think we're all up here because we like what we do. We don't do it for the money. My wife likes it that she doesn't make dinner at least one day a month. But we do it because we like it out here. So whether especially this week, sticking together as a community and so on. That's why I live. That's why I live here. I do like our town. I do appreciate all the employees coming together and so on. So with that being said, I just wanted to at least say that to me, I have to say I want to say something. Is Rich was a role model to my son while being the father and volunteer tonight in the community. That wanted to be like him, including myself. So with that. Let's go to that's what happens when I script. Future meetings. Wednesday, May 17th is our study session. We're going to have it here in the Service Center. Change. Our regular board meeting will be Tuesday, May 23rd, instead of the 24th. Our regular business meeting here in the Service Center. With that, I'm asking motion for adjournment.